Single dad janitor made a mute girl whisper, unaware her cold. Powerful mom was watching and crying. The rain drummed against the tall windows of Whitmore Academy, one of the most prestigious private schools in the city. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. Inside the empty hallway, Marcus Thompson pushed his cleaning cart, the wheels squeaking softly against the polished marble floor. His janitorial uniform was worn but clean, his hands calloused from years of hard work. He was a single father, working double shifts to give his own daughter a decent life, and he took pride in every corner he cleaned, every surface he polished. To most people walking these halls, he was invisible. But Marcus had learned long ago that invisible people see things others miss. That afternoon, as golden light filtered through the rain clouds, Marcus noticed her again, a small girl no more than 7 years old, sitting alone on the window seat at the end of the corridor. Her name was Lily Chen, and everyone knew her story. 3 years ago, after witnessing a traumatic car accident that killed her father, Lily had stopped speaking completely. Not a single word had passed her lips since that terrible day. Her mother, Victoria Chen, was a renowned corporate lawyer, feared in courtrooms and respected in boardrooms. She was powerful, intimidating, and according to school gossip, emotionally unavailable. She had hired the best therapists, the most expensive specialists, but nothing had worked. Lily remained silent, locked in her own world. Marcus had seen Lily many times during his evening cleaning rounds. While other children laughed and played, she sat alone, clutching a worn teddy bear, staring out the window as if searching for something in the distance. Today was no different. He wheeled his cart closer, not wanting to startle her, and began wiping down the window frames nearby. He worked quietly, humming an old lullaby his own mother used to sing to him. It was the same song he had sung to his daughter when she was afraid of thunderstorms. After a few minutes, he noticed Lily turn her head slightly toward him. Her dark eyes, usually so distant, seemed curious. Marcus smiled gently and continued humming, never making direct eye contact, never invading her space. He had learned from raising his own daughter that sometimes children just needed to feel safe, not interrogated. Days turned into weeks, and a quiet routine developed. Every evening, Marcus would find Lily in the same spot, and he would clean nearby, humming his songs, occasionally talking softly about simple things. He told her about the clouds he saw that morning, about a funny squirrel in the park, about how his daughter had learned to ride a bike. He never expected responses, never pressured her. He simply shared his world, creating a gentle presence she could trust. One evening, as autumn leaves began to fall outside, Marcus brought a small box of crayons and paper. He set them on the window seat beside Lily without a word and went back to his cleaning. The next day, he found a drawing waiting for him. It was a simple picture of a man with a cleaning cart and a little girl with a teddy bear, both smiling. Marcus felt his throat tighten. He carefully folded the picture and put it in his shirt pocket, right over his heart. What Marcus did not know was that Victoria Chen had been watching. Every Tuesday and Thursday, she arrived early to pick up Lily, parking her sleek black car in the visitor's lot. Instead of walking straight to the classroom, she had begun lingering in the shadowed alcove near the main staircase, watching through the glass partition. She watched this janitor, this ordinary man, create magic where all her money and connections had failed. She watched him treat her daughter not as a broken thing to be fixed, but as a person to be honored. She watched Lily's body language change, saw her lean forward when he spoke, saw the smallest hint of a smile when he showed her a silly dance move while mopping. Victoria's heart, which she had armored in steel after her husband's death, began to crack. Tears she had not allowed herself to cry for 3 years began to blur her vision. One rainy November evening, everything changed. Marcus was cleaning the hallway when he heard a soft sound, barely louder than a breath. He turned and saw Lily standing a few feet away, her teddy bear clutched tightly, her lips moving. He slowly knelt down to her level, his heart pounding. She stepped closer, and in a voice like rustling leaves, She whispered 2 words he would never forget.
Thank you.
The words hung in the air like a miracle. Marcus felt tears stream down his face, but he kept smiling, kept his voice steady. "You are so very welcome, sweetheart," he whispered back. Lily's eyes widened, as if surprised by her own voice, and then she did something even more remarkable. She smiled, a real genuine smile that lit up her entire face. In that moment, hidden in her alcove, Victoria Chen broke. She pressed her hand against her mouth to stifle her sobs, her whole body shaking. Her daughter had spoken, not to a therapist with multiple degrees, not to her own mother, but to a janitor who had simply shown her kindness. Victoria walked forward, her expensive heels clicking on the marble floor. Marcus looked up, startled, and quickly stood, wiping his eyes. He recognized her immediately. The powerful Victoria Chen, always immaculate, always in control, now stood before him with tears streaming down her face, her mascara running, her composure completely shattered. "I heard her," Victoria said, her voice breaking. "I heard my daughter speak." Marcus nodded, understanding everything in that moment. "She has a beautiful voice," he said simply. Victoria looked at him, really looked at him, seeing him perhaps for the first time not as staff, not as invisible labor, but as the man who had given her back her child. "How did you do it?"
she asked.
"I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on specialists. And you just—" Her voice failed. Marcus glanced down at Lily, who was watching both adults carefully. "I did not try to fix her, Mom," he said quietly. "I just tried to be her friend. Sometimes that is all anyone needs." The weeks that followed transformed all 3 lives. Victoria, humbled and grateful, began to see the world differently. She started leaving work earlier, spending real time with Lily. Not scheduling appointments, but simply being present. She learned from Marcus that love was not about providing solutions, but about sharing space. She invited him and his daughter to dinner, and over simple home-cooked meals, 2 broken families began to heal together. Marcus never asked for recognition or reward, but Victoria insisted on establishing a scholarship fund in his name, ensuring his daughter could attend any college she dreamed of. More importantly, she learned to listen, to be still, to recognize that strength sometimes looked like vulnerability, and wisdom sometimes wore a janitor's uniform. Lily's voice grew stronger day by day. She began speaking in full sentences, then paragraphs, then could not stop sharing all the words she had kept locked inside. But she never forgot the man who had waited patiently for her to be ready. Years later, when Lily graduated as valedictorian, she dedicated her speech to "the kindest man I ever knew, who taught me that silence ends, not when we are forced to speak, but when we feel safe enough to whisper." Marcus sat in the audience, tears of pride streaming down his face, his own daughter beside him squeezing his hand. Victoria sat on Lily's other side, transformed from the cold, powerful woman she had been into someone softer, kinder, more human. That night, under the stars, Victoria thanked Marcus again. "You gave me my daughter back," she said. Marcus shook his head gently. "No, ma'am. I just reminded her she was never lost. And maybe I reminded you too. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Let us spread compassion and remind the world that the smallest acts of genuine kindness can change everything. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that matter. Subscribe to Kindness True Stories today and be part of a community that believes in the transformative power of human goodness.